Hello, Alango. Can I just clarify, like if you've been a few days, when Alango's asking questions, he's not very serious. I think people think he's being serious, but my interpretation is he's not very serious. Am I correct?
And neither am I funny. I just dropped the question because I have a doubt.
Okay. He sounds maybe more serious than he is.
It's existential, I don't know.
Yeah. Like intense, and he sounds like he's really, and I get the impression that it's not so serious.
No.
Might be because we've known each other quite a few years and we've done this quite a few times. Yeah.
Just now you said the Buddhist teaching was you have to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And Lisa's teaching, correct me if I'm wrong, is there is no you.
Yeah.
There is only the moment.
Yeah.
When the mind drops the thoughts and the emotions, zero, there is a zone, probably the zone that you are in, and we get into it sometimes. There is just the presence.
Yeah.
And that's the true me.
Yeah, but it's not to do with me. Like I'm not in a zone.
No.
It's a movement. It's a movement from being identified with a person that's always moving to being identified with what's actually happening.
I'll tell you what's my experience just now. Generally thoughts come in.
Yeah.
And as you're talking, thoughts come in, and then there is an emotion for the thought, and the body is reacting. And now it's like there's just this moment. So that's the true oneness of this entire universe, which this body-mind thinks was Ilango. And when the body-mind forgets that it is Ilango, there is only the existence. Because during this talk you said the true you is eternal, it will never die. Is that part of me now sort of voicing this out from the silence, inner silence?
Silence does everything. Everything does everything. Even this question, even when you're in suffering, it does everything. It's actually really magical, the way the world is appearing. Right now, we think everything's appearing because of the past. That's what we're taught. We're like, this table is here from the past, the floor is here from the past, ourselves are here from the past. But actually, it's spontaneously appearing now. It's magic. And that's actually your experience. Your experience isn't that it appears from the past, that's thought. That's information that you learned, so that cannot be truth. If you didn't think, if you hadn't got language, you wouldn't be able to think like that. It's something that helps us survive in our current situation. It's only an appearance. What's reality, what you know so deeply and seem to overlook, is that everything's appearing now from no thing. What happens then? The mind's like, okay, let me find no thing. But if it's not a thing, you can't find it. You're like, okay, I've got to find the no thing where everything's appearing from. But you can't find it because it's not a thing. And that's your experience. Like I remember for years, like every form is emptiness is form. They made you chant it in Buddhism, and nothing is everything. And I was like, looking for this nothing, thinking I'd suddenly find something. But it's nothing. It's empty. So it's like everything is appearing from itself. Like, so my words appear from itself, this cloth appears from itself, the table appears from itself, now, right here. It's magic. And we lose that magic because we think we know everything. Like we think we know in time, but it's magic right now.
Taking away the personality of Lisa and Ilango, there is something inside which is connected through all persons in the entire universe. That's the only thing which is there.
Yeah.
And that's also me.
Yeah. That's who you truly are. That's your most intimate sense of being. But that most intimate sense of being is attached to the personality structure, so it feels like your essence is the personality structure, because the personality structure is something you could think about. But it's actually everywhere. Your looking is everywhere now. Your looking doesn't end at Alango and begin and end there, and then there's this space between us, and then I appear. Your looking is me, the flowers, it is everything. Your looking, your hearing, your feeling, your touch is everything. Your experience is everything. You can't distinguish difference. You can't say, Lisa, I end here, and Alango begins there. Your experience right here, right now, is everything. The colours, everything. It's so innocent and beautiful. And we're always looking in the personality structure for this freedom. We're thinking, when I'm a nicer person, when I'm a different person, when I've done this, when I do this, when I complete work, when I get there, when I've got this, it's never ever going to work. It's right here.
And this enlightenment we talk about is when this me drops.
It's not
It's
even
attachment to the me.
Yeah, it's just energetic movement.
That
Yeah.
gets disconnected.
Yeah, so then you're everything rather than the personality structure. But the personality structure still arises. And the personality structure, bless it, doesn't become enlightened. But Lisa's not enlightened. Lango will never be enlightened, yeah. Lisa can be everything that you think isn't enlightened.
But at Bali, in the Lisa personality, in this body-mind, that attachment to that personality stopped.
There was a shift, but it wasn't the Lisa character that did it.
No, Lisa character still is part of this drama.
Yeah.
For example, there's a satsang and there's also Lisa character.
Yeah,
That
and
was
this
never
teaching comes out in the flavour of the Lisa character.
But
it doesn't come out like Yoda or somebody. It comes out. It doesn't.
It comes
come out
through the filter of the Lisa personality.
Yeah, so it doesn't come out in like Japanese.
But the enlightenment is the universe speaking through Lisa, who's the flute.
Yes, and
music.
Ramesh wrote a nice book with this title. I love this title. Hang on, just have to remember it. Oh yeah, the Duet of One. I just love that.
Yeah.
The Duet of One.
Duet.
Duet.
Duet, okay.
Duet. It's just so sweet, that title. Am I saying the words right?
Lisa,
Yeah.
coming back to, like this satsang we have been saying, my interpretation of chapter 1 is pure Advaita, and the chapter 2 part of it is the personal.
Yeah.
That whenever we have a problem, you ask us, you tell us, do these things to get over your relationship problems, to your, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I'm asking you another question.
Yeah.
Let's forget the part 2 chapter, that will be till lifelong, till death. That chapter 1 part of pure Advaita, when you talk, we listen. Certain times we get the experience of that oneness. When we slip out of it, how do we get back to that? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah. Well,
when the me comes in and all these things starts happening, how do we cut right at the root itself?
You can't, it's just happening. Well, you're destined to suffer, and then when it moves, you move. I can help you in the personality structure to relax that suffering, but I can't.
You can't prevent me from slipping from chapter 1 to chapter 2. But chapter 2 you can do something, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you can't do in chapter 1.
I can help you relax your suffering and understand it and...
But I'm asking about the chapter 1 part.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
How come you can't do in 1, you can do in 2? You got the question? Which apparently the 2 is also happening.
You can't get back to it. It is the way it is. You can't.
Ramesh did not help you to be in chapter 1? Arjun? In some way? And if they did do it, then can you do it to us too? Because I'm 56 years old and this trying to improve the personality keeps on happening. I feel it's always the root cache. You knock it out, that's it. It's like these science fiction movies. You go there into the jetty and there's one thing inside. You blast that out, that's it. It's the end of the movie ends.
I mean, I can say I can speak non-duality and there can be a listening, but whether there's a shift or not is totally down to God's will or life's will.
But the beauty is that I personally feel, I think many of us feel that it's the essence of this universe, as we call it, as God, which speaks through the personality of Lisa, and we can never get another opportunity to talk to God.
I know, but really you're talking to God in every form.
That's not a very intelligent God I speak to. You mean the human population. We look at gurus who give us the right. The word guru itself is removal of ignorance.
Yeah.
And if there is one, like the Zen master, the Zen sword, with one knock you can decapitate the me.
Well, I'll get a bit uncomfortable with that because I can just see so many traps in what you just said. Like the idea that the guru has the true word of God, I mean.
No, when I mean the word of God, it's not the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita. I'm talking about me getting rid of this attachment to that, my personality. Is there a technique to do it? I'm just using the word God and, because of the rarity of meeting people like you.
Oh.
It's a choice to change. What sees the difference between chapter 1 and chapter 2?
Yeah. I think the guru thing's highly overrated.
Yeah, that's your perspective, Lisa.
Yeah. Although I do appreciate the flowers. I think they're very beautiful.
Excuse me, Lisa.
Yeah.
How can there even be a chapter 1 and a chapter 2?
Exactly.
How can there what?
What is it?
And then chapter 2.
How can there be a chapter 1 and a chapter 2? There can't be. And that's the problem, isn't it?
Well, it's not the problem or not the problem, it's just the way it happens in language. It's just language.
Lisa, what are the other traps you're talking about? You said traps.
Traps. Well, I mean,
One is the God
there's many,
trap.
and I think the guru thing is a very difficult thing. I think that we're evolving past that with technology.
You mean there will be an artificial intelligence which will turn into a...
I think that.
That's not a project.
Well, I don't know about that, but I meant that we're beginning to be able to hear this message without this whole thing of the guru.
Yeah, no.
I think so.
Now, how many Lisa Cairns are there?
No, but I mean, like we can impersonally upload it to YouTube, and people can never ever meet you. I mean, this stops this whole guru thing happening. I'm not a fan of the whole guru thing.
No, my concept.
I'm not against it, but I'm not a fan of it.
The guru is actually, maybe it's a body mind, it's a computer, or it's a book,
Yeah.
which removes your ignorance. I mean, that's
Well,
what I would-
actually, really.
And there is a gratitude till you are in the disciple.
But when you're in the right attitude, you see everything as the guru. Everything.
Yeah.
Like it's the uncomfy chair is the guru, the luxurious chair is the guru.
That's after enlightenment. Not before. Before it pains.
Mm.
So in chapter 1 there is no technique. It's only in chapter 2 you give us the techniques.
I'll give the technique
In
to
chapter
the
2, not the chapter 1.
in the chapter
I'm
1 I
just
can
in chapter
talk
one.
about non-duality.
See, for example, when we are at schools, there is chapter 1 and there is a do homework, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chapter 2, I'm asking like a student, there is a 1, 2, 3. In chapter 2, you're giving us a lot of things. I mean, we would do that also. But
Yeah.
can we have something on chapter 1 also?
Oh well, I've done all that this morning.
It's cool to know that you can still be a butthead and be enlightened. And self-acceptance is a big story of self-realization and
Yeah,
full on. Perfection of the self, forget it.
yeah,
Perfection of the personal self.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Thank you. My song is,
yeah.
I mean, like that, huh? You're it.
The perfect self to me goes back to politics. Like perfect self is about controlling people.
Well said.
It moves into politics.
So behaviour has nothing to do with self-realisation. Nothing at all.
No.
Forget the perfect.
Bravo.
So, and that was always a major obstacle.
Yeah,
Thinking that you had to become like a superhuman.
yeah,
And certainly go and sit for 35 years in some cave in the Himalayas,
yeah,
even before you could begin.
yeah. Nothing to do with it. If the personality structure is deeply suffering, this is the one thing that I will say. So if it's deeply suffering, it's very difficult for non-duality to be heard. It's like clouds. It's like if you're sitting there in hell, it's very hard to hear the beauty of this moment, that this is the freedom. And it's not that the person hears it, but it's hard for something beyond that to be seen. But that's not necessarily true, because you look at some speakers like Eckhart Tolle, and they were in deep agony when this happened. So that's not necessarily the case either. But I do recognize that often if the personality is really, really deeply in agony, that it's not listening to this. So that's the only correlation that I would make, but it's nothing to do with it. The personality structure is as much to do with it as about having a broken leg or not. It's a brain. It's a brain. Your personality structure is brain chemicals happening. Like neural pathways that have been built by your parents. The only thing is that you're attached with that. You're attached with your neural pathways. You believe that who you are is a behavior, a feeling, an action, a way of being, a memory. But all of those are brain things that are happening. What's beyond that? That's the illusion. That is the illusion, is that these ideas come up, these memories come up, and then you think that's me. Whereas that's a happening that comes and goes and is always changing. And the agony is this identification with this personality and always trying to maintain that personality and make that personality happy. So if you take my dog, for example, she doesn't have any ideas that she is a dog and that she's got to be happy. So therefore, there isn't any identification with the personality structure. She just is everything that's appearing. She doesn't know the edge of her nose to the outside world. She just is everything.
But
So
your
to
dog
me-
would have a pretty good life, though, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I would hope so. Well, she's a feral dog, and I do sometimes contemplate that maybe she'd prefer to be feral. Like, feral dogs are different from domesticated dogs.